I'm back again. So thanks for following me along here on my diet journey. I hate saying the word diet. It's not a diet. It's totally a life change, lifestyle change completely. But anyway, so since I started, this is week 10, and I lost 2 more pounds last week. That this pretty much feels kind of normal for the calories I'm eating and things like that. So what I'm doing, of course, is I've started exercising. I hit the gym today. I had a gym membership at Planet Fitness for a long time because I've kept it because it's only $10 a month. It's really not my style of gym, but it works just fine. So hit the treadmill today for half an hour. Pretty light, but I burned an extra 260 calories, so that's good. Anyway, so I lost 2 pounds this past week for a total of 45 in the last 10 weeks. So things are cruising along as they should. I'm really liking eating just the 2 meals a day. I've gotten used to it. I rarely get really hungry. It's just working great. So I can totally recommend it. I've learned I do not need the amount of calories, at least not with my level of physical activity and my fuel reserves in my belly. I really don't need to eat the 2,500 calories that I'm allotted. I just don't see the reason to eat any more than maybe 1,800. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. 45 pounds last 10 weeks. And but today, what I want to talk about is food labels. They're really weird, incredibly misleading. Of course, we're all familiar with the food label. You know, these are on everything now. They're required to be. The idea of having some transparency, I guess, in the food. Basically, these food labels started showing up about in the mid-60s, 65, 66. And they, of course, changed over the years. But the particular one that we're used to right here, this was completed and voted upon and decided that this would be the label in 1990. So this label, as we know, has been around for 30 some odd years. Now, they've changed it a bit as diet trends and things have gone on. They've added to the label, they added saturated fat, they've added cholesterol. Eventually, they decided that besides these kind of macros that they follow along with, they thought maybe they should throw some vitamins on there so we could pay attention. The last update to the label was in 2016 when they decided calories were now a big deal to pay attention to. And so the calories have gotten big. I noticed the calories were big a long time ago. I just never gave any really thought to it, but there you go. So now the calories are easier to see. But the problem with the labels, there's several things going on with this. First of all, they base them on a 2,000 calorie diet. And basically what this says here, like this particular label, it says if you eat this product, that it contains 5% of the saturated fat based on a 2,000 calorie diet for that particular day. So essentially, if you ate 20 servings of this, you would have 100% of your saturated fat allocated amount for a day on a 2,000 calorie diet. The problem is, it's not based on real nutrition for the body. These numbers were created decades ago based on what it would take to not starve to death. And of course, the other thing is the 2,000 calorie diet really makes no sense. And here's why. When I take a look at, this is the height and weight chart. We're all familiar with it. People who put this thing together, the labels, also put the height and weight chart. Now, my whole life, now what's funny about this one is actually these are reversed. This is actually the male side, the female side. When I always looked at these things growing up, I said, well, I weigh a lot more than that, so geez, I think I'm just must be too short. That was always my problem. I never fit on these charts. But that aside, basically this says that on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, that is for a 6'3" male. So now let's think about that. Let's think about women, because it's not geared male female. It's a 2,000 calorie diet. A woman, the average woman aged 20 to 39 in the United States weighs 167 pounds. The resting metabolic rate, which I've gone over before, is the amount of calories you burn while you're doing really basically nothing. The resting metabolic rate is 1,700 calories for these particular ladies, which means they have to eat 1,700 calories a day to maintain their 167-pound weight. If these ladies decided to start to eat a 2,000 calorie a day diet, that resting metabolic rate is for someone who weighs 230 pounds. So in essence, eventually they would gain so much weight eating 2,000 calories a day that they would end up weighing 230 pounds. It's absurd. It really is. So they really make no sense. And the other thing about the labels is they have things on them now that don't really make a difference one way or the other. I'll find this chart here. For instance, cholesterol. These statistics are still based on the 90s thinking about cholesterol and fat, and how they thought that eating fat led to cholesterol, eating something with cholesterol, that all led to heart disease. The science at the time, they knew that was incorrect. Science today says that's incorrect. I mean, eggs, think about eggs. Eggs have a lot of cholesterol. They were vilified for years, but they're one of the best foods you can eat. One of the best sources of protein and a million other vitamins and things in there. There's no correlation with cholesterol in food and cholesterol in your heart. So eating eggs, the cholesterol doesn't end up in your heart. And then so cholesterol is stupid to even have on the label. The other one is, at some point around there, they also added trans fats. Well, this particular product doesn't have any trans fats. But the saturated fats, same thing. Saturated fat is not the enemy. It's not the enemy. It does not give you heart disease, because fats don't cause these types of fats. I'm talking real animal type fats. Don't cause inflammation in the body. So it really doesn't matter if it's saturated fat or not. Things you need to worry about basically on the label. As far as I'm concerned, the most important thing on labels is the ingredients in what you're eating. This other stuff's whatever. But you need to pay attention to the sugar, the amount of sugar in something, the amount of carbohydrates in something. Those to me are the most important. And then after that, if you're thinking about calories, the calories here, and that is per serving. That's one of the scams that food companies use to make their product think it's better for you than it really is. All they do is they keep making the serving size smaller so the calorie count doesn't shoot up. Now let's look at these right now. Frosted Mini Wheats. I don't eat cereal. It's full of sugar. I hadn't eaten cereal in literally decades. But Frosted Mini Wheats was always one of my favorites. I could sit down in front of the TV and I eat a whole box without any milk at all. But a serving size of this stuff, 1 cup. Let's take a look at that. So this is your average cereal bowl. At least it is in my house, okay? This that is 1 serving of Frosted Mini Wheats. How many of you are going to get this bowl out and eat 1 serving? 1 serving of Frosted Mini Wheats is 190 calories. The next label on the box, and this is on all cereal boxes, is if you add 3/4 of a cup, because you measure that, of skim milk, then it goes up to 260 calories. So 3/4 of a cup of skim milk on top of this is what you should eat according to this box, or that's what a serving size is. And it's based on your 2,000 calorie diet. It gets really confusing. But who does this, right? Now that's a bowl of cereal. I measured, and this holds 4 servings of cereal. This is what I'm positive you guys, most of you guys out there are gonna eat. This is what I ate. And skim milk is a joke. They use skim milk on these labels because it's less calories, but you should never drink skim milk. If you drink milk, drink whole milk. Strauss Dairy makes killer, I don't drink it, but They make a whole milk in glass, grass-fed. That's what you need, because it's actually the fat calories that are good for you, none of this crap. Anyway, so you use skim milk to make it look less. So, and then you're gonna put at least a cup of milk in here. And whole milk is, I think it's about 200 and, I don't know, maybe 200 calories for a cup or something. So now you got basically 4 servings. There's 800 calories worth of cereal and another couple hundred calories worth of milk. So now you got 1,000-calorie breakfast, all basically sugar. And if you eat skim milk with it, that's all it is. At least if you drink whole milk, you get some fat with it. But this is going to run your insulin through your eyeballs, and eventually it's going to end up around your belly until you decide to lose it 40 years later. And this is the problem. And I have eaten 2 of these. I've had many friends eat 2 whole bowls of cereal. And this is considered the healthy stuff. There is no real healthy cereal, honestly. But the only type of cereal you wouldn't eat this much of is grape nuts. I mean, you can only chew on so many rocks, and you cannot, you're not gonna chew a whole bowl of grape nut rocks, right? So that's the whole problem with that. So on the labels, pay attention really to what's in them. Again, don't eat cereal and the sugary things like that. It's so bad for you. Don't trust in the labels. Most people out there, well, I guess the standard American cow's potato on the standard American diet eats way more than 2,000 calories a day. So quite frankly, that doesn't matter. You know, it's just ridiculous. Just pay attention. Watch if you really want to watch yourself, watch what's in it. Stay away from the sugar. Stay away from the grain-based products. Stay away from any hydrogenated type oils. So that's the message for today. That's the labels are more or less a joke. You know, take them at what you will. Pay attention really to the ingredients more than anything else in the product, and stay away from those things and you do just fine. Anyway, that's it for me. So 45 pounds, 10 weeks. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like and share, and we'll keep this thing going. And let me know how you guys are doing. That'd be great. Hit me up in the comments. I'll hit you back. And peace out for now. Take care. Bye now.